I have a series on my channel called Dollar Tree Christmas Shadow Boxes, and it has been a while since I've made some, so that is what I'll be creating in this video. The first thing you're going to do is just purchase some of these simple shadow boxes from the Dollar Tree, and they do come in different sizes. Next, I painted the entire box, including the back side, but just a little bit around the inside of the bottom of the box. You're going to choose whatever color construction paper or scrapbook paper that you like, and usually I don't go for dark colors, but this is actually going to be perfect for mine. And I'm using Mod Podge to glue the paper to the back of the box, so just a nice thick coat all around just that bottom part. After getting the Mod Podge, you just simply put the paper in there and cutting it to size. Sometimes I don't always cut it perfectly. The edges might be a little bit wiggly, there might be a little bit of a gap, so I do camouflage that with some glitter glue. And this is Crayola glitter glue, but I have also used Elmer's glitter glue, and it just does a really great job of hiding any of those imperfections, but also giving it a little bit of sparkle. This is the mess-free way of putting glitter on your projects. I just go around all of those edges and I leave the bottom blank because I'm going to be adding something else there. I also love to put diamond dust inside of the box. It adds an extra sparkle, a really pretty shine. So just shaking that around, it attaches to all of that glitter glue and it makes a beautiful sparkly border. Now I'm using felt, just plain old white felt, to make a snowy backdrop. And once I am finished drawing it, I just simply cut it out and I'm going to be hot gluing that into the bottom. Many of the items in this video are found at Hobby Lobby right now, and I recently did a haul video explaining where I found them, and you can buy them right now. You don't have to wait for all the Christmas items to come out. So that is the thumbnail on the screen right now. If you're interested, go back and watch that, and it explains all the details about many of the items I'm using for these crafts. I'm using a little bit of this buffalo snow just to add a little bit more texture of snow to the bottom, and again I'm just hot gluing it. Be careful if you choose to do this because the hot glue can come through, so I use my scissors to help press it down so it won't burn my fingers. Now it is time for my favorite part, the decorating part. I always use stickers as some of my embellishments, and they do of course have a sticky back, but to make sure it's nice and secure, I also add a little bit of hot glue. I love these little houses going in a row because it's going to look like a little town scene. Now this is a really thick piece of foam. Now I got this at Joann's, and unfortunately we all know that it closed, but I'm sure there's other locations where you can find this thick piece of foam, and I'm using this to bump out some of the details from the back because I don't want everything pushed right up against the bottom of the box. I want some things coming forward. So I'm just cutting 3 little squares and I'm hot gluing all those together to pop out my piece nice for the foreground. And this is the little sled that's going to go in the front. And I just hot glue all the pieces together to make a nice secure bond. As you can see, the white foam does blend in really well with the white felt and buffalo snow, but I don't really like that you can see this big chunk jutting out from the back. So I'm going to hide that by just gluing a little bit more buffalo snow around it, just to camouflage that little chunk of foam in the background. I wanted to add some more three-dimensional items, so I really like using bottlebrush trees to give it height and texture. I just removed the little wooden piece and I hot glue that also to the wooden base of the box. Now sometimes you don't always need to remove the little wooden base of the bottlebrush tree. It just depends on how tall you want it. And these 2 little presents are actually buttons, but I'm going to just be using them as little presents. I'm pretending that maybe this little sled is delivering presents to that tree, but a couple little presents maybe bumped off and toppled off into the snow. So just gluing them side by side, it makes a really cute little scene, I think. I'm adding another little bottlebrush tree to the corner, and now I'm going to start working on the background. And this is how it's looking so far. Really sparkly, really shiny. I'm really loving it. The sky was looking a little empty, so I traced this circle that I already cut out of cardstock, and this is going to be the moon. And I debated on what to do. Should I print out a moon? Should I just try to draw a moon? But then I remembered I have metallic silver POSCA pens, so I'm going to be using this just to color it in. And even though it is on paper, it worked out really well. It didn't peel the paper, it didn't make it too wet, and I was able to go over it 2 or 3 times to really make a nice solid silver coat. Once the moon was finished, of course there's going to be a little reindeer flying over. This is just the perfect added little detail to the sky. As soon as I saw that reindeer, I thought it's gotta be flying in front of a moon. The last little thing was the season's greeting sign, and I also wanted to add a few little snowflakes or stars in the sky with my silver glitter glue. And this is the finished shadow box. I absolutely love it. I've lately been obsessed with Christmas houses. I love decorating Christmas houses and painting Christmas houses. So this one was really perfect for me. I think it's super adorable. The next two boxes are purple and pink. Definitely not your traditional Christmas colors, but if you watch the haul video that I mentioned earlier, I found this adorable Christmas paper that has pastel colors everywhere, and you can buy it individually for only 69 cents in the scrapbook section. I went ahead and glued in the paper with the Mod Podge, added the glitter glue with the diamond dust, and I also found the perfect item to go with this paper. These are these adorable nutcrackers that match the colors perfectly. But before we jump into the decorating, I first added the snow to the bottom of the box, just like I did in the previous one. And now it's time to add all the adorable details. I wanted the nutcrackers to stick out a little bit, so I hot glued the foam to the back to cover the whole length of the body, and I'm going to be flanking both sides of the trees with 2 nutcrackers on each. I have peppermints and candy canes that are actually little Christmas ornaments, but I just cut the tops of those off because they're made of plastic and they are the perfect little decoration. I did the peppermints on either side of the tree as well in the top, and I also put the little candy canes on both sides of the tree, and these match the nutcracker decorations perfectly. They both have peppermints and they both have candy canes, so it was just a match made in heaven. I also decided to add a few different snowflakes. Now the little ones on top are buttons and the big ones on the bottom are just flat on the back, but again you just cut off the little hook on the back of the buttons and they will work perfectly. I glued the big ones in the corner and the couple little ones below both of the peppermints. Now in case you're wondering where I find all these items, I always leave a list in the description down below so that you can go find these as well around Christmas time, and some of these items are available right now. These 2 lollipops were huge. They were definitely way too big as the nutcracker, but I wanted to incorporate them somehow on the bottom and the snow. So I decided to rip them apart and cut them in 2. So they kind of look like just giant pieces of candy jutting out of the snow. And because they're plastic, they were super easy to cut. I wasn't quite sure how tall I wanted them, but after I figured it out, I cut them down, a few times and measured them here and there to make sure that they were going to be the right length. I wanted there to be a little bit of height variation. I think the pink one is a little bit taller in the background, the blue one is a little bit shorter in the foreground, and then I just hot glued them inside of the box, and they looked so cute. I was really happy how they turned out. I've never done anything like this before, but it's definitely something that I might incorporate into some other little crafts. These tiny little gumdrops come on a garland, and I just glued several of those into the bottom of the box. And now normally I like to put something on the edge, but I didn't really have any sticker to put on the outside of the box, so I made this double bow ribbon, and it matches the top of the Christmas tree, and it was also the perfect color. It matched colors on the nutcrackers as well. So I decided to glue that in the corner, and as a last little finishing touch, I put a peppermint into the center as well. Now you might be wondering, why have I not done anything with the purple box? Now normally I like to switch things up and make everything a little bit different, but it's always sometimes a good thing to not reinvent the wheel. So I ended up doing the same thing for this one, just with some different colors, more purples and greens, and the pink ones has pinks and blues. And these are the finished 2 boxes. I think they are so adorable. There's been several people that come into my booth and buy things for little girls, so I think this would be perfect for a little girl's room. Or if your favorite color is purple or pink. We've even had people ask specifically for purple nutcrackers before. So I think these are a beautiful addition to my craft booth. And don't forget about the first one. Tell me in the comments down below which one was your favorite. I think I have to, even though I love both of them, there's something about the pink and purple nutcrackers. I think they're so cute. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.